Have you ever wondered what it truly means to live a rich life? Is it the luxury of sprawling mansions, exotic vacations, and an overflowing bank account? Or could it be something far simpler, yet profoundly more fulfilling? Ancient Greek philosopher Epicurus argued that happiness isn't found in extravagant pleasures or endless pursuits of wealth and power. Instead, he believed that true satisfaction lies in simplicity, contentment, and meaningful connections. His life mirrored his philosophy. Modest meals of bread, cheese, and weak wine shared with friends while engaging in deep philosophical discussions. What can we learn from this timeless wisdom about living richly with less? The modern concept of minimalism seems to echo Epicurus's teachings. Whether it's the clean, unadorned melodies in music, abstract simplicity in art, or decluttered living spaces, minimalism is about focusing on what truly matters. But can we extend this principle to our well-being? How can we cultivate happiness without extravagant costs? How can we redefine wealth in a way that prioritizes fulfillment over material accumulation? Let's delve into the perspectives of Epicurus and other great thinkers to explore how being rich might have more to do with contentment than cash. Contrary to popular belief, wealth isn't synonymous with happiness. Material abundance often brings stress and fear of loss, leaving many wealthy individuals feeling isolated and unfulfilled. Take, for instance, the relentless grind of overwork. Those clocking 80-hour weeks may amass fortunes, but at the cost of their health, relationships, and peace of mind. Epicurus would say no. For him, one of life's greatest joys was time spent with loved ones, a luxury money cannot buy. This brings us to the age-old question. If we step away from the rat race and reject society's materialistic values, will we be doomed to a life of misery? Not necessarily. Instead, we can find joy in what Epicurus called static pleasures, the contentment that arises when we stop chasing desires and start appreciating what we already have. Imagine savoring a homemade meal, enjoying a quiet moment in nature, or simply feeling the peace of an uncluttered mind. These pleasures, often dismissed as ordinary, hold the key to enduring happiness. Let's consider the example of Henry David Thoreau, an American transcendentalist who embraced simplicity by living in a small cabin at Walden Pond. Surrounded by nature, he found profound joy in the ordinary: daily walks, conversations with neighbors, and the beauty of a marsh hawk in flight. Thoreau famously said, "The man is richest whose pleasures are the cheapest." By rejecting the allure of luxury and expensive distractions, he discovered that true wealth lies in appreciating life's simplest gifts. This philosophy is further echoed in the writings of the Taoist sage Zhuangzi. He observed how society's obsession with wealth, status, and long life leads to anxiety and dissatisfaction. Zhuangzi wrote, "They are so concerned for their life that their anxiety makes life unbearable." Isn't it ironic that in our relentless quest for happiness, we often make ourselves miserable? His wisdom suggests a liberating truth. Freedom from excessive desires brings unparalleled peace. But what are these cheap pleasures that Epicurus, Thoreau, and others spoke of? They are the small joys that cost little yet enrich our lives profoundly. For Robert Chambers, a 19th century geologist and author, one of life's greatest pleasures was reading, a virtually free activity that feeds the mind and soul. Similarly, philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer praised intellectual pursuits like poetry, learning, and meditation as the highest forms of pleasure. These pursuits, unlike fleeting material indulgences, leave us fulfilled without extracting a high price. Even physical pleasures can be enjoyed without great expense. Cooking a simple meal at home, taking a leisurely walk in nature, or sharing laughter with friends costs little but offers immense rewards. Epicurus distinguished between moving pleasures, which involve actively satisfying desires, and static pleasures, the contentment that follows fulfillment. He valued the latter more, as they require no effort and bring lasting peace. In contrast, the endless pursuit of moving pleasures often leads to exhaustion and dissatisfaction. Think about it. How many times have you chased after something only to find it didn't bring the joy you expected? Schopenhauer shared a similar sentiment, emphasizing that happiness consists largely of peace of mind. However, achieving this requires tempering our natural desires, a challenge in a world that constantly encourages us to want more. By embracing minimalism, not just in our possessions, but in our approach to life itself, this means finding satisfaction in what's readily available and not being enslaved by the endless pursuit of more. Thoreau put it beautifully. only that traveling is good, which reveals to me the value of home and enables me to enjoy it better. It's not about how far we go or how much we spend. It's about appreciating the beauty of the here and now. The wealthiest among us aren't those who own the most, but those who need the least to feel complete. Epicurus summed it up perfectly. If thou wilt make a man happy, add not unto his riches, but take away from his desires. So, how can we apply this wisdom to our daily lives? Start by identifying the simple pleasures that bring you joy. Is it reading a good book, enjoying a homemade meal, or spending time with loved ones? Embrace these moments fully and remind yourself that happiness doesn't have to come with a hefty price tag. Let go of the notion that more is better. More money, more possessions, more achievements. Instead, focus on being content with what you have and finding richness in experiences, not things. As you reflect on these timeless teachings, consider how they can transform your perspective on wealth and happiness. Imagine a life where your contentment isn't tied to external circumstances, but comes from within. What would that look like? Perhaps it's less about striving and more about savoring, less about accumulating and more about appreciating. Thank you for joining this journey into the wisdom of Epicurus, Thoreau, Zhuangzi, and other great thinkers. If you found these ideas inspiring, let us know in the comments. What are your favorite cheap pleasures? Remember, the richest life is often the simplest one.